Vector algebra. So it is a review topic required for our vector calculus. Okay, we try to review quickly what are the concepts which we should know before starting vector calculus. Okay, now first of all we try to understand how we represent vectors. So in R square, that is in two-dimensional space, the vectors are represented as ordered pairs, that is AB. So we can represent a vector as an ordered pair in xy plane or a point in xy plane, and the vector is represented as a directed line segment joining origin to AB. So we all know that vector means it is also having direction, magnitude and direction. Scalar means it is having only magnitude. That is a basic thing which we know. Okay, now what is the length of this vector? It is simply distance from 0, 0 to AB, which is given by under root A square plus B square. If AB are called the components. Okay, and in R cube, how you represent the vector, sir? We represent the vector as ABC. That is, it is a point in space. This is a point in space ABC. So we represent the vector as a line segment, directed line segment joining 0, 0 to ABC. What is the length of this vector, sir? The distance from 0, 0 to ABC, which is under root A minus 0 whole square, that is A square plus B square plus C square. Okay. Now we can only show the vectors up to 3 dimension. Higher dimension vectors we generalize. Am I clear? Suppose if you want to know what is a vector in n dimensional space, we represent it using component, that is an ordered n tuple a1, a2 and so on an. This a1, a2 and so on an are called components. See, the length from for higher dimensions we represent it as norm. This is called norm, and it is represented by under root a1 square plus a2 square and so on an square. This is called length of the vector. Is the idea clear? Now we need to know about three important vectors, okay, in the direction of principal axis. Okay, I'm taking 3-dimensional. If it is 2-dimensional, only xy axis we are going to take. So those are the unit vectors in the direction of x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. Okay, see, actually I hat we have to write for unit vectors, we use the symbol hat symbol. Okay, but you know it is energy consuming, so I'm just using I bar to represent unit vector. So what is this? 1 0 0. This is the vector, sir, 1 0 0, and j bar is 0 1 0 and k bar is 0 0 0. Now any vector in space can be represented in terms of these unit vectors. Any vector in space can be represented in terms of, okay, these unit vectors. Okay, that is called component form. Okay, how you get it, sir? Suppose this is unit vector I bar and this point is A. Okay, this is actually A00. This is the vector A00. What is the length of this vector? A. And how you represent this vector, sir? This can be represented as A into I bar, because length of this vector is 1 na? So A into I bar would be this particular vector, that is this vector would be A I bar. So what is this vector? Similarly, J bar is unit vector, so this length is B, then this can be written as B into J bar. Okay, and what about this, sir? K bar is the unit length, and from here to here it is C into, actually this particular one, this is parallel to that particular, this line is actually parallel to your Z axis. Am I clear? So this is K, so this length is C, so we represent this vector as C into K bar. That is, we are writing that in terms of unit vector. So this would be C K bar. Am I clear? So how can you write this one, sir? This vector can be represented as this vector plus this vector plus this vector. That is, your vector is this one. This is your vector V bar. So this can be written as AI bar, this is BJ bar, and this is CK bar. So how you represent the vector in component form? AI bar plus BJ bar plus ck bar. Any vector can be represented in component form like this. Now this idea can be generalized for n-dimensional vectors, or you can specify for two-dimensional vector. For example, if it is a two-dimensional vector like this, how can you represent it, sir? This vector can be represented as ai bar. This one, this is actually from here we will get this bj bar. So v bar can be written as ai bar plus bj bar. Similarly, if you are having a vector in n dimension, suppose you are having a vector in n dimensional space, so this can be written as component wise. Suppose taking i1, i2 and so on, in as the unit vectors in the direction of the principal axis, then this would be a1 i1 bar plus a2 i2 bar and so on, in bar. See, up to three-dimensional expressing in component form is fine, but more than three-dimensional expressing in this component form would be very, very complicated. So that's why we use the ordered n tuple to represent these vectors. Or you also learnt in your matrix algebra that we can represent a vector as a column vector or a row vector. So we can represent these vectors as column vectors also, or row vectors also we can represent. That is the basic idea. Hope you understand. So the basic unit vectors in the direction of the principal axis are going to help you to express any vector in space, okay, in a unique manner. So that particular one is what is known as the component form for the vector. Okay. Now suppose if you are having two vectors, let us take general vector first, let us take, which is ABC, and let us call v1 as the vector with components a1, b1, c1. See, I am writing it for three-dimensional. Whenever it is required, it can be generalized for n-dimensional vector, or you can specify for two-dimensional vector. That is the basic idea. And v2 is a vector, say a2, b2 and c2. So it is multiplying a vector with a scalar. Scalar multiplication of a vector means every component you are multiplying with k, ka, kb and kc. Now what do you mean by adding two vectors? Addition of two vectors. Addition of two vectors means just adding their corresponding components. a1 plus a2, b1 plus b2, c1 plus c2. So this is the addition of the two vectors. Now the vector products. We have two types of products. One is called dot product. The other one is cross product. First, let us understand the definition of dot product. Suppose A is a vector and B is another vector. The dot product of these two vectors is defined as length of A into length of B multiplied with cos of angle between the two vectors. See, this is the vector A bar and this is the vector B bar. So the dot product is nothing but length of A multiplied with length of B into cos theta. What is length of B into cos theta? It is simply the length of the projection of B on A bar. So you project B on A bar, sir. See, this is theta angle between these two fellows. I'm just redrawing this. Right angle triangle. This is theta. This is B bar. So this is adjacent. So what is cos of the angle, sir? Cos of the angle would be adjacent by hypotenuse. B na right on. Adjacent by hypotenuse. So what is this adjacent, sir? Adjacent would be B into cos theta. So what is length of this fellow? Length of B into cos theta. That is the length of this projection multiplied with length of A is what is known as dot product. Length of A multiplied with length of the projection is what is known as dot product. Okay. Now this depends on the value of cos theta, and when cos theta, okay, when theta is 0, what is the value of cos theta, sir? Cos theta is 1, and you know that cos theta maximum value is 1. So when theta is 0, A dot B is maximum. That is, theta is equal to 0 means what? A and B are in same direction. Am I clear? They are parallel or same direction, you can say. Is the idea clear? So when the two vectors are parallel, then A dot B is maximum. Okay, and your popular important vectors, unit vectors in the direction of principal axis, when you consider I dot A will be, because theta is 0, they are same vectors, theta is 0, cos 0 is 1, then what happens, sir? You are simply going to get length of I into length of I, which is nothing but 1. Similarly, J dot J, 1. Similarly, K dot K would be 1. But when theta is equal to 90, cos theta would be 0. That means A dot B would be 0. That is why when you take this vectors which are perpendicular, you all know that I, J, K are perpendicular, mutually perpendicular with each other. So I dot J is 0 and I dot K is 0, and similarly J dot K is also 0. And one more interesting property, whether you write, because it is length, whether you write length of B cos theta into A or length of A into B cos theta, it does not matter. So this is commutative. The important property is A dot B is same as B dot A. Now let A bar is equal to A1, A2, A3, and B bar is equal to B1, B2, B3. So what is the dot product, sir? See, when you see the corresponding multiplication, when you multiply all these component wise, when you multiply, what happens? You got I dot I. See, it's like, A1 I bar plus A2 J bar plus A3 K bar dot product with B1 I bar plus B2 J bar plus B3 K bar. So when you do this dot product, I dot dot J, I dot K, J dot I, J dot J, J dot K, you are going to get. So out of all that, only I dot A is 1, but I dot J, I dot K are, they are all zeros. And because of this commutative property, A dot B is B dot A, even this I dot J, yeah, J dot I, they are all zeros only. This K dot I also 0, and this K dot J also 0. That is what is left when you do the dot product. What is left? Only I dot I, J dot J, and K dot A. K. So I dot I is 1. So A1, B1 is left. Similarly, A2, B2 is left, and A3, B3 is left. So this is the definition of A dot B component wise. So when they ask you to find dot product of two vectors, just multiply the corresponding components and add, you get the answer. For example, suppose A bar is I bar minus 2J bar plus 3K bar, and B bar is 2I bar minus 3J bar plus 4K bar. What is the dot product, sir? Just multiply corresponding components. 1 into 2 plus J component minus 2 into minus 3, K component 3 and 4, 3 into 4. So that is 2 plus 6 plus 12. So the answer is 20, which is a scalar. So dot product is a scalar. So this is about dot product, my dear friends. Clear? Now let us see the definition for cross product. The cross product of two vectors. So A is a vector and B is another vector. This is a vector A and this is vector B. This is the angle between the two vectors, theta. So the cross product is defined as length of A into length of B, sine of the angle between the two vectors multiplied with n hat, where n hat is a unit vector perpendicular to both A and B. That is, n hat is perpendicular to both A and B. See, obviously A, B are in same plane. We cannot have a vector which is perpendicular to both the vectors, okay, A and B. So that n hat must be in the other plane. Am I clear? So how you find the direction of this n hat, sir? You just keep your hand along the direction of A bar, okay, and you move your hand or you close your fingers along the direction of B bar. Open your thumb. That would be the direction of n hat. that would be the direction of n hat. We call it as right hand rule. Or there is one more way. So your index finger, okay, is pointing about a bar, and this fellow middle finger is pointing in the direction of b bar, then n hat will be the direction of your thumb. So that is one more way people remember. You can remember the way you want it. Okay, so it is perpendicular to both a bar and b bar. Is the idea clear? That is a unit vector perpendicular to both a bar and b bar. Is that clear? Now, when theta is equal to 0, what happens? This would be 0. The cross product would be 0. And when theta is equal to 1, sorry, not 1, pi by 2, what happens to cross product, sir? AB into, what happens? This would be A into B into unit vector. Okay, so unit vector you are going to get. Am I clear? Because det A into det, length of A into length of B into unit vector n hat, or simply we call it as n, sir. From now, every time n hat, it would confuse you. Is that clear? Now this will give you interesting results. For example, if you take I cross I, or you take j cross j, or you take k cross k, what happens? Because angle between them is 0, so this would be 0 vector. All these are zeros. And one more interesting thing is A cross B is not same as B cross A. It is minus B cross A. It is not commutative as dot product. Sir. A dot B is minus B cross A. So from this we get this following properties. When you do I cross J, you are going to get K bar. When you did J cross K, you get I bar. And when you do K cross I bar, we are going to get J bar. But when you do reverse, J cross I bar, we get minus K bar. K cross J bar, we are going to get minus I bar. And I cross K bar, we are going to get minus J bar. So generally they remember it like this: I bar, J bar, and K bar. So when you multiply in the clockwise direction, you get the next one with positive direction. That is I cross J is K bar, and J cross K is I bar, and K cross I is J bar. But when you go in the anti-clockwise direction, I cross K is minus J bar. K cross J is like this, we remember. Okay, draw properly, you will understand better. This is IJ and this is K bar. Am I clear? So when you move in the clockwise direction, I cross J is K bar, J cross K is I bar. So positive value you are going to get. When you move in the anti-clockwise direction, you are going to get negative. Like this, we can remember this results. Am I clear? Now, how to find cross product of two vectors which are given in component form. Let us understand that. Okay, now suppose A bar is given as, say, A1, A2, A3, and B bar is given as B1, B2, B3. So how to find the Cartesian product? So we can find the Cartesian product using the 3 by 3 determinant formula, sir. This is I bar, J bar, K bar. So here you just write the components of A bar, that is A1, A2, A3. And here in the third row you write the components of B, that is B1, B2, B3. You all know how to find 3 by 3 determinant. Same way you are going to find this. So it goes like this, sir. First I bar into A2, B3 minus A3, B2. So here it is 1, 2 element means cofactor will be minus n. So minus J bar into, so close the column and row. So it is A1, B3 minus A3, B1 plus K bar into A1, B2 minus A2, B1. Is the idea clear? So this is about the cross product of the two vectors. This is about the cross product of the two vectors. Is the idea clear? You can find cross product using this formula very easily. For example, if I give you a vector a bar is equal to say I bar minus 2j bar plus 3k bar, and b bar is equal to 2i bar plus 3j bar plus 4k bar, and I want to find a cross b, I, j, k bar. So components 1, minus 2, 3, and this is 2, 3, 4. So what you need to do? I bar into multiply. Minus 2 into 4, minus 8, minus 9. Minus 8 minus 9 is minus 17. Minus j bar into 4 minus 6, that is minus 2. Plus k bar into 3 plus 4, that is 7. So when you multiply and when you simplify, you get minus 17 I bar plus 2j bar plus 7k bar. So this is how we are going to find the Cartesian product of two vectors. So dot product is very simple. Corresponding components you multiply and add, you are going to get the dot product. But for Cartesian product, you have to see this, okay, 3 by 3 determinant. This is the method for finding the Cartesian product of or cross product of two vectors. Cross product, okay. Is the idea clear? Now let us see the definition for this scalar triple product. Scalar triple product. We also have vector triple product. So the scalar triple product is defined as A dot B cross C. So this B cross C is a vector. So A is a vector. So for these two vectors, we can have a dot product and we can have a cross product. That is the definition. And this definition we can directly remember. It is given by this 3 by 3 determinant. You just write the components of A, A1, A2, A3. Then components of B, B1, B2, B3, and components of C, that is C1, C2, C3. Like this, we can get this scalar triple product. We call it as scalar triple product. Means after doing the product, we are getting scalar answer. So this scalar triple product is also denoted as, they call it as box product also. Like simply write all the three vectors in a square brackets. So this is how we represent scalar triple product. See, now when you are having three vectors ABC, I mean 3 letters or 3 vectors ABC, how many permutations are possible? For these 3 letters, we can have ABC, ACB, BAC, BCA, CAB, and CBA. See, out of these 3 fellows, out of these 6 fellows, the 3 fellows, that is ABC, the cyclic fellows I am talking about. So like, ABC, ABC. So when you go in the cyclic order, the answer is same, sir. That is A to B, B to C, that is ABC, or you say it is same as BCA, it is same as CAB. As long as it is cyclic, the answer is same. But for the other orders, the answer would be minus. So ABC will be, so what are gone? ABC means BCA is gone and CAB is gone. So remaining fellows will have minus of this answer, that is minus ACB, minus BAC, minus CBA. So suppose if you know the answer for A dot B cross C, but he asks something like B dot A cross C. Again, you don't have to solve this problem. This means what, sir? B, A, C. So BAC is not in this list. So BAC is in this list. So the answer, suppose if you know that A dot B cross C is having answer 50, then B dot A cross C will have answer minus 50 directly by this rules. Okay, this is the rule, sir. We can just remember them as rules. Is the idea clear? So in such cases, they are very, very useful. This is about the scalar triple product. Okay, you just remember this cyclic thing, then you can remember this formula also. Very easy. Okay, I'll draw here itself. A, B, and C. So ABC, BCA, CAB. They'll have same answer. All the remaining fellows will have minus of the answer as ABC. Yeah, BCA, yeah, CAB. Is it clear? So this is about scalar triple product. Okay. So we can take one example. Suppose A is say I bar minus 2j bar plus 3k bar. B is nothing but say 2i bar plus j bar plus k bar. And C is say 3i bar minus j bar plus k bar. And you want to find ABC, scalar triple product. See, this can be represented, this box product also they call it, as I told you, or you can write A dot B cross C. Both are one and the same. That is a notation. So 1 minus 2, 3, 2, 1, 1, 3 minus 1, 1. So this is the formula. Just find this 3 by 3 determinant, you will get the answer. 1 into 1 plus 1, which is 2, minus of minus plus 2 into 2 minus 3, that is minus 1, plus 3 into minus 2 minus 3, that is minus 5. So the answer is 2 minus 2, 0, minus 15. So the answer for this is minus 15. Is the idea clear? This is about scalar triple product. Okay. Now let us see the vector triple product. Vector triple product. The vector triple product. So if A, B, C are three vectors and you want to find A cross B cross C. See here where you apply this matter, sir. Okay, now suppose you are having A cross B cross C, this particular rule, A cross B cross C. The answer for this would be A dot C into B minus B dot C, this B dot C into A bar. So you have to find cross product of these two, and the resultant vector you have to do cross product with C bar. Okay, the answer is A dot C. This is a constant, sir. Constant into B bar minus constant into A bar. Directly you get the answer. Okay, but if you want to do this order A cross B cross C, the answer would be, see here what is happening, A dot C B minus B dot C A. But here what happened, first A dot will be with C. Okay, when this order is changed, please be careful, because you know A cross B is minus of B cross A. Because of that, this will change. So the answer for this would be A dot C into B bar minus A dot B into C bar. So these two results, please remember, sir, good for health. Am I clear? So we conclude with some applications of this. Okay, dot product, cross product, and this scalar triple product. Mainly cross product and scalar triple product. Let us see the problems. Now let us see the applications. See, for dot product, simple application is, if dot product of two vectors is 0, then we say that A and B are orthogonal. A, B are orthogonal vectors. To check whether the given vectors are orthogonal or not, we can use the dot product. Okay, that is the application for dot product. Now for cross product, when you want to see the application, we have applications, we can find areas. Okay, what areas we can find? Now first one is area of triangle. Area of triangle. For example, if you are having a triangle ABC, A, B and C, what is the area of this triangle? The area of this triangle is given by half AB vector cross AC vector. See, this is the length of this cross product. After finding the cross product, you have to find the length of the cross product. Let us see example for this. Suppose I want to find area of triangle with vertices 1 0 0 0 1 0 and 0 0 1. Okay, so how can you find this particular area, my dear friends? So the idea is you draw the triangle A B C. This is 1 0 0, this is 0 0, sorry, 0 1 0, and this is 0 0 1. See, it is in the space. I'm just, for convenience, I'm just showing it on the plane. Okay, please try to understand. Okay, now this is the triangle. So we have to find what is AB. See, what is AB, sir? See, just subtract the components of A from components of B. That is component of B minus component of A. 0 minus 1, 1 minus 0, 0 minus 0. That is minus 1, 1 and 0. Similarly, AC. How to get AC, sir? Components of C minus component of A. That is 0 minus 1, 0 minus 0, 1 minus 0. Which is nothing but minus 1, 0 and 1. Then you have to find first AB cross AC. Which is nothing but what, sir? I, J and K. So this is minus 1, 1 and 0. Minus 1, 0 and 1. Is the idea clear? Now you have to find the vector, which is 1 I bar into 1 minus j bar into minus 1 plus k bar into minus 1, that is 0, minus of minus plus 1, 0 plus 1, which is nothing but I bar minus of minus plus j bar plus k bar. This is AB cross AB, AB cross AC. So what is area, sir? Area is given by half into AB cross AC's length. Length of this vector. What is length of this vector, sir? The length of this vector is under root 1 square, 1 square, 1 square, which is root 3 by 2. This is how we can find area of the triangle. Is the idea clear? The next application, area of parallelogram. Suppose you are having a parallelogram ABCD. The area is given by AB cross AD. Length of this. So this AD and this is AB. AB cross AD. See what happens for the parallelogram. If you draw this diagonal line, it will divide into two equal triangles. You already know the area of this triangle is half of AB into AD. Same thing, 2 times of that. So half into 2 is 1. So you get AB into AD. Okay, we can take a simple example for this. Now let us see the following example. So this is a parallelogram with the vertices 2 2 0, 9 2 0. Okay, and this is something like say 10 3 0. Not to the scale, sir. Don't plot it and check. Okay, I'm just showing you the 4 vertices ABCD, and the other one is 3 3 0. So this ABCD are the 3 vectors. I mean 4 vertices. Am I clear? So you just need the vector AB and vector AD. What is AB, sir? Just now we learn how to find 9 minus 2, that is 7, 2 minus 2, that is 0, 0 minus 0, that is 0. Then AD, because this vector into this vector. You want, you can take these 2 vectors also, or you can take these 2 vectors. Okay, AD. What is AD, sir? What is AD? 3 minus 2, that is 1. 3 minus 2, that is 1. 0 minus 0, that is 0. So find AB cross AD. So that is I, J, K bar. Okay, 7 0 0 1 1 0, which is nothing but I bar component would be completely 0, minus J bar component is also completely 0, plus K bar component is 7. This is not 0. Some people, what happens when they see 0, they write 0 directly. Please don't do such mistakes. So what is length of AB cross AD, sir? Length of this vector, that is under root 0 square plus 0 square plus 7 square, which is nothing but 7. But length of this is nothing but your area. So area is 7 square units. That's it. One more application, find the volume of the parallelogram determined by these three vectors. Of course, the three vectors must be concurrent or coterminous vectors. So it's like, suppose if you are having this parallelopipe, so these three vectors must be coterminous or concurrent vectors, we call them. So these vectors, if they are given, then we can find it. And the formula is simply the volume formula is given by A dot B cross C, or the box product or scalar triple product A, B, C. Just find determinant of this 3 by 3 matrix. What is it, sir? 3, 6, 1, 2, 1, 0, 4, 3, 2. So what happens? This would be 3 into 2 minus 0 minus 6 into 4 plus 1 into 6 minus 4, that is 2. So this is 6 minus 24 plus 2. So 8 minus 24 is minus 16. See, we have to take the absolute value of this. Okay, this is not this volume na, so negative we should not get. So that is absolute value. So what is the answer? 16. The formula is absolute value of this. And if this volume is 0, means they are coplanar vectors. Am I clear? All these vectors on a same plane, so you cannot find volume for that. So if volume is 0, okay, that means if A dot B cross C, of course the absolute value is 0, then A, B, C are coplanar. Is the idea clear? So these are some basic applications for what we discussed so far. Am I clear? Sometimes angle between two vectors will be asked. Angle between two vectors A and B will be asked. In such cases, we can use the dot product formula. You all know A dot B is what, sir? A dot B is mod A mod B into cos theta. So cos theta would be A dot B by mod A mod B. So this is a wonderful formula which we are going to use for finding angle between two vectors. Let me write properly. Cos theta. Okay, and of course, if theta is equal to 90, what happens, sir? If theta is equal to 90, what happens? The answer would be 0 you are going to get. Okay, so if A and B are perpendicular, theta would be 90 degrees. A and B are perpendicular, orthogonal we call it. It's a very interesting property for this dot product. Okay, that is the idea. So these are some basic concepts which we need to know before starting your vector calculus. Mainly dot product and cross product minimum one should know. Am I clear? So we can start with your vector calculus.